Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Tyree from On the Hot Podcast. Today, I have some bonus content for you guys. This is bonus content I will be covering will be for the big time fight that's supposed to be happening in the boxing world this weekend between Canelo Alvarez and Triple G, the trilogy. If you guys haven't checked out episode 67, it is now available on all four of our platforms: our Instagram account, our Facebook account, our YouTube account, and our Apple Podcast account. So go ahead and check out all three segments of episode 67 if you guys haven't already. But let's dive into the bonus content I have for you guys today. So the bonus content I have is, like I just said a few moments ago, I'll be talking about Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G, the trilogy fight set for tomorrow night in Las Vegas. So I'll be sharing my fight prediction for this weekend's big monumental fight. This fight between Canelo Alvarez and Triple G is going to be one of the best boxing fights that the boxing world has to offer in the calendar year of 2022. Both fighters absolutely dislike each other. There's a lot of bad blood between the two. There's going to be three main things that's going to be on the line in this trilogy fight. First and foremost, it's going to come down to legacy. Both fighters have tremendous Hall of Fame resumes that any living, breathing boxer would die to have. These two guys are alpha males in the boxing ring. Legacy is definitely going to be on the line. Pride is definitely also going to be on the line between these two outstanding performers in that boxing ring. Both hate to lose and hate to have draws on their resume. They dang sure don't want to walk away out of Vegas with a loss or another draw in this trilogy. And the main thing that's on the line, there will be 5 total championships on the line, all held by the current title holder, Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is still the undisputed king of the super middleweight division. If you guys are wondering what the heck happened, why does Canelo still have all 5 of his championships, is because his fight in May that he had against Bivol was not in the super middleweight division. It was actually in the lightweight division. So Canelo Alvarez is still the undisputed king in the super middleweight division, holding all 5 of his championships that he will be defending tomorrow night against Triple G in the trilogy. He will be defending the IBF, WBA, WBC, WBO, and the ring super middleweight championship in this trilogy fight tomorrow night. There's a lot on the line. Now, we have gotten to this point, to this trilogy, because this trilogy has been 4 years in the making. Let's go down memory lane of how we got to this trilogy. So the first fight that took place between these two was in 2017 when these guys first got into the ring with each other. The fight ended in controversial order. The fight ended in a draw. Now, it left a lot of boxing fans confused of the outcome, wondering what the heck is going on behind the judges' scorecard at the judges' table. If you guys didn't check out the first fight between the two, I think it was the better fight between the two. The first encounter that happened in 2017. Now, in my opinion, it's a lot that happened in all 12 rounds, but I would say that Triple G, in my opinion, truly won that fight, and that fight should have ended in a draw. Clearly, Triple G landed more punches than Canelo Alvarez in that fight, and definitely pulled away within the late rounds, the last 10, round 10, 11, and 12, that Triple G pulled away from Canelo Alvarez and clearly outboxed him. And I thought that was enough for him to win the fight back in 2017. Obviously, the judges thought different, and the fight ended in a draw. Now, there's no right or wrong answer to this, because there's an argument that Canelo Alvarez also won the fight as well. He had a lot of significant blows, punches that landed on the Triple G during that fight that maybe the judges weren't even willing enough to say that he did lose this fight. So it's not a right or wrong answer, in my opinion, to who won this fight the first time in 2017. I would just say that Triple G won the fight. So after the draw, it set up the second fight a year later that took place in 2018, where Canelo Alvarez walked out victorious, and he won in unanimous decision, outlasting Triple G in 12 rounds of boxing. And so the series is Canelo 1, 0, and 1 between the two. This sets up for a perfect trilogy. Fast forward 4 years later, we're here now in 2022. It's set to take place tomorrow night. Now, the storyline I have for these two fighters heading into this fight, first off, I'll start with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is looking to bounce back in a huge manner after his devastating loss that he suffered a few months ago in May when he fought Dimitri Bivol in the lightweight division, where he went up divisions to the super middleweight division. He's the king of the super middleweight division, climbed up to the lightweight division, took a risk to fight Bivol, and was unfortunately unsuccessful that night. Now, that was the second loss of Canelo Alvarez's illustrious career. Demetrius Bivol did one heck of a job that fight. Absolutely dismantled and dominated and outboxed Canelo Alvarez. The only man that has ever done that to Canelo Alvarez was back in 2013 when Floyd Money Mayweather did the same exact thing. As argument to say who dominated him more, who made him look more silly, more frustrated in that boxing ring, but Bivol really left a mark on Canelo Alvarez. And I'm looking to see the confidence level of Canelo Alvarez suffering his second loss in his career. 9 years, nearly 9 years after he lost his first fight against Floyd Money Mayweather. Looking to see how the confidence is for him heading into this fight. Storyline for Triple G, my storyline for the fight. He's heading into this fight at 40 years of age. That is nearly grandpa years in the world of boxing. It's hard to move for all 12 rounds of moving back and forth, staying in the pocket for increments of 3 rounds per round in boxing. That's nearly hitting the grandpa mark in boxing, if you want my honest opinion. 40 years, does he still have the gas tank in him? Can he turn back the clock and show the world that he still has prime Triple G years still left in the gas tank? So my tale for the tape for this fight, start off with the champ, Canelo Alvarez, who is 32 years of age, stands at 5'8", weighed in today at 167.4 pounds, has an outstanding record of 57 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws in his illustrious career. Has 39 knockouts to his resume. He is currently the undisputed champion of the super middleweight division. And then, my tale of the tape for Triple G. He's at 40 years of age, standing at 5'10", weighing in today at 167.8 pounds, just 0.4 over Canelo Alvarez. His record stands at 42 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. That 1 loss coming against Canelo Alvarez, like I just said in the first fight between the two. The 1 loss in his illustrious career, only coming to the hands of Canelo Alvarez. There's a lot on the line for this fight. But he has 37 knockouts to his resume, and what makes this fight so interesting to see it a third time, both fighters are coming into this fight, both fight the same styles, both are orthodox fighters. I believe when you have 2 fighters that fight the same style, both orthodox fighters, I think it brings the best out of the fighters. I think it's more entertaining to watch as a boxing fan, and it's like a boxer fighting himself because it's the same style that you train in, and you're fighting for the same you're fighting to train against the same training style that you possess in your arsenal. So it's going to be interesting to me how this unfolds Saturday night. Canelo's best chance to win this fight is targeting the body of Triple G. He did that in the first fight and the second fight. I think with Triple G, I think to this day, Triple G still feels the effects of the body blows that Canelo Alvarez has left on his body 5 years ago when they got into the ring the first 2 times. I think Canelo Alvarez can find success early, targeting the body, starting downstairs and then moving his game plan upstairs to trigger and try to knock out Triple G. Triple G's best chance to win this fight, in my opinion, I'm not writing him off by any means necessary. I wouldn't be surprised if he does win this fight, but the best way for Triple G to win this fight is to outwork Canelo from start to finish, from round 1 all the way to round 12. I just talked about Canelo Alvarez's confidence, and the reason why he was dominated in that fight in May against Bivol was condition was a main factor in that fight. Yes, he jumped up a couple pounds from the super middleweight division to the lightweight division, but Canelo Alvarez having conditioning problems, that was a red flag to me, and I think that's how he got outworked and outboxed by Bivol in that fight in May. Triple G, do you have enough cardio to go toe-to-toe with Canelo Alvarez for 12 rounds? I think he can hang with him. He's done it in the past. I think he could do it Saturday night. I think this is his best chance to just outbox Canelo Alvarez from round 1 all the way to round 12 and leave the fight in the judges' hands. But with that being said, my fight prediction for this fight is I have Canelo Alvarez defeating Triple G in the 9th round by knockout to remain the super middleweight king of this division. So, with that being said, I think it's going to be a competitive fight from start to finish. I just think Canelo's going to outwork him, tire him out, work on the body, and then work upstairs and knock him out in the 9th round. I think this is going to be it for Triple G. Triple G is at 40. He's 40 years of age. He has a resume of 42 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. He has nothing else left to prove in boxing. This is probably going to be if he continues after this, this is going to be the last big headline fight that I think he's going to have of his career. I just don't see anything else left for him in the world of boxing moving forward. I think this should be it for him if he loses. And I think if he does lose, this will be it. But if he continues, that's absolutely great. I think I think Triple G can participate in the world of boxing, just not as a pro boxer. If he loses this fight, in my opinion, there's just nothing left for him. He can join the likes of Hall of Fame greats Floyd Money Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. He will be a Hall of Famer one day. But Floyd, who's just inducted into the Hall of Fame, and Manny Pacquiao, who is an all-time great, all-time legend in the sport of boxing, they're going down the path of doing exhibition fights. I think Triple G could do the same thing as well. So what's next for Canelo Alvarez if he wins Saturday night against Triple G? Well, he better win, because first off, he's interested in the rematch against Bivol. And Bivol's team has actually came out and said they're not going to be interested in a rematch if Canelo Alvarez fails to beat Triple G in the trilogy. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if Canelo wins this fight and then later on calls for the rematch against Bivol. Will it be in the lightweight division again? I don't see a point of it, because Bivol defended his championship successfully in the lightweight division. I think if there's a rematch between the two, Bivol's going to come down to the super middleweight division and try to take all 5 championships that Canelo Alvarez possesses in the super middleweight division to become the undisputed king in the super middleweight division. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens between Canelo Alvarez and Bivol in the future. But if Triple G wins this fight, he's the undisputed king in the super middleweight division. The whole boxing world takes a whole 180 turn. It's going to be interesting to see what turn of events happen after Saturday night. I still believe Canelo Alvarez is still one of the best fighters, despite him losing in May. I think he is one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world today. It's hard to say that he is the best, saying that he has 2 losses under his resume. I would say right now that Terrence Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter, but I still believe in Canelo Alvarez. Still a big fan of Canelo. Canelo always will be, no matter the wins and losses. I think he's one of the best fighters that we've seen in this generation. But that is my fight prediction I have for this weekend. I have Canelo Alvarez knocking out Triple G in the 9th round to remain the super middleweight king of this super middleweight division. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. If you guys haven't checked out episode 67, it's now available on all 4 platforms: our Instagram account, our Facebook account, our YouTube account, and our Apple Podcast account. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Tom Sayre, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.